I do not want that mistake to happen. That is why I am not using any examples. I am not using any stories. I am not using any other references. He is so clear. If you understand or try to look where the Chit and Jada is binding each other, touching each other, getting knotted, you will suddenly see you are free by your nature. There is no knot. Small announcement. Some illegal car parkings on the outside parking lot, getting tickets. They need to go and check, please. You may get liberation from liberation, but not from tickets. In this country, if you do illegal thing, nobody can do anything. And these guys are telling that Swamiji should do something. What? You will do some illegal activity? Jnani only told, na? You will do illegal things and I should save you from that.
The underground parking is available, so they can park it there.
There. Whatever is said and done, you have to take care of the law. And moreover, it's created. You see, it's we who should, if you take the responsibility for law, you are liberated from law and you will not feel that it is enforced on you. See, again it is connected to our subject only. It is directly connected to our moksha marga. See, whatever you may think or do, life has to run based on certain principles. As long as you don't understand those principles and accept them, they will be bondage for you. The moment you understand and accept them, you are liberated from them. They are no more enforced on you. That's all. That's all is the secret which Mahavir is delivering here. So Mahavir is teaching you now through, in reality. Understand the whole truth is this only. There is a dharma, law of life. Somebody asked me, Swamiji, enlightened people don't die or what? Then why should we become enlightened? I told him, no, who said enlightened people don't die? Of course, they don't die like you. What happens to you when you die will not happen to them when they die. They do not, you die in a normal way, like your soul leaves the body and body goes through suffering and your mind is feeling miserable because you did not fulfill something, you did not do what you want to do and you did something which you don't want to do. The fear and greed and everything comes up. You go through suffering and leave the body. But with enlightened beings, there is nothing called fear or greed or suffering. So you can't call their death as your death. There is a law of life. Anybody who has taken the body has to leave the body. In your case, because you did not understand the dharma, law of life, and accept it, it's like you feel it is enforced on you. With enlightened masters' case, they understand it is dharma and they accept it. Because of that, they don't feel it is enforced on them. They are liberated from the law. You are liberated from the law when you take the responsibility for the law. Means any law is created for all of us. When you become part of it, see, if you look as a whole, you will not criticize any law. Only if you look as a part, if you look from your view, you will criticize all laws. If you look as a whole, you won't criticize any law. Now all you need to do is the same thing. The cosmic law is dharma. If you look from your angle, you will always feel it is enforced on you. If you look from the angle of a cosmic energy, you will feel it is you created. So all you need to do is liberate yourself just by expanding. Look from a different angle. You will liberate yourself. Take the responsibility. Understand and accept. You will suddenly feel no law is binding you. You are not. Nothing is enforced on you. You are not bound by any regulations. You will see you are expressing your being. You are expressing your reality. You are expressing the truth in your life. One who does not know the difference between matter and consciousness, as long as you think you are a body, you can't escape from the pleasures of the physical world. See, when you think you are mature, naturally the small attachments like a toy, Barbie doll, all these things disappears. Till you are matured, even if you try to renounce the toys, you may renounce physically but you will be thinking about it. Same way, till you experience your consciousness, you can't renounce the physical pleasures. Even if you renounce, you will be mentally thinking about it. The one who does not know the difference between matter and consciousness won't be able to practice restraint. Only when you experience you are a conscious being. Understand? You are not human being having spiritual experience. You are spiritual being having human experience. It is the other way. You are not human being having spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having human experience. So, only when you understand the truth, you are a spiritual being having human experience, suddenly you will see the outside world or the pleasures of the world is not attracting you at all. It's not affecting you anymore. You are just beyond all these things. You are just living in a different space. The one who sees everything as movements in consciousness, he transcends sin and merit, bondage and liberation. This is the essence. This sutra is the essence. The one who sees everything as movements in consciousness. You are in consciousness and you are consciousness. Just consciousness is moving inside the consciousness. Understand? There is no matter. There is no jada. There is no outer world. The outer world also is inside your consciousness. This can happen to you when you start witnessing. When you start constantly witnessing whatever happens inside and outside, suddenly you will see all movements, whatever is happening, including you, is just part of your own consciousness. What you think as you, what you think as world, whatever you think as the outer world and the other person, everything is just movements in consciousness. This can happen to you when you witness, above all, when you unclutch from your body and mind. See, as long as you connect with your body and mind, you create a boundary between you and the world, you and the whole. When you unclutch, suddenly that boundary disappears. You are no more separate from the whole. You are no more separate from the truth. You are no more separate from the reality. You are just filled with the same thing. See, the body will be there as a body as long as you give the name for it. The moment the name disappears from you, it remains in you as just an experience without the so-called words or the qualities associated with it. You will see in reality it is the same. See, the power which runs your body is running the sun and the moon. The force which is working inside you is the same force running the solar system, running the whole world. If something is happening inside your body, it directly affects the sun and the moon. You will realize you are not an island as you think. You are not an island as you believe. Your belief that you are an island is too small. It's like in a big ocean, a small straw is floating, piece of straw is floating. Piece of straw is too small to make the ocean into two pieces. Same way, your ignorance is too small to take away your enlightenment. Understand this important truth. Your ignorance is too small to take away your enlightenment. You are fortunate. Your enlightenment is more strong, more powerful than your ignorance. That is why the enlightenment is possible. That is why it is possible. Your ignorance is too small to cover you or to make you into two. One who sees everything as moments in consciousness, whichever divides you into pieces, just drop. As long as you carry I, the idea you will be there. The idea of other will be there. The moment you relax from the I, the idea of other will disappear. As long as you connect all your thoughts and see the things with your own ideas, you will see the outer world separate. But I tell you, once you unclutch from your body and mind, the one who sees everything as moments in consciousness, you will start seeing everything as moments in consciousness. He transcends sin and merit, bondage and liberation. You don't even ask for liberation. Understand? You transcend liberation. Now whatever you think as liberation, even that is an idea. I always tell people, unclutch even from your idea of liberation, you will be liberated. Otherwise, you will have an idea, if I am liberated, I should be like this. And you will try to fulfill that idea and never feel liberated. Liberation means there is nothing like you should be like that or like this. No. You should feel intensely and clearly you are liberated, that's all. You have nothing to achieve, you are free. That can happen to your being, that can happen to your soul only when you liberate yourself even from the idea of liberation. The one who sees everything as moments in consciousness. For example, when you look at this rose, you create a word rose in your mind and start thinking all ideas which you have about roses, means the idea is connected to the roses, and all the roses which you presented to somebody or all the roses presented to you, some idea some connection, how that person responded, how you responded. Slowly, in few seconds, you are away from the rose. You are no more connected to rose. Anything in the world you can see. The moment you see, words are created, you are away from the reality. You are now in your own dream world, in your own dreams. Seeing, but not creating a word and directly trying to connect, just like kids. See, kids will not know the word. But you see, when kids, they see something, their whole being sees it. As if they are enjoying it. As if they are living it. So see, without using the name, without using the word, then suddenly you will see strange thing happening between you and the rose. The idea or the boundary that you are separate from the rose will slowly disappear. You will feel like you are just slowly becoming one with the rose because the boundary is disappearing. Because the boundary is disappearing. You are becoming one with the reality. You are becoming one with the truth. You are becoming one with Satya. Suddenly you will see, you feel so deeply connected to rose when you see the rose without word. Same way with anything, with a tree, with a person, with a situation. Always you have a prejudice. If you drop your prejudice and see, for example, particular situation, if you think that you should be depressed, usually you respond only as a depression, in a depressed way to that situation. When that situation arises, you will see that you will be depressed. No other way. No other way. So whoever is connected to something, to the things of the outer world, in a particular way, we call this as a psychodrama. If you are prepared, if you are given the dialogue of depression at a particular moment, you will repeat the same mood, same dialogue throughout your life when that kind of situations arise in you. So the whole life is nothing but psychodrama, selected dialogues and psychodrama. Person who understands everything as movements in consciousness. That's a beautiful Zen story. One disciple goes to master and asks, Master, you have become a master, please guide me also how to become a master. Master says, who said I have become a master? No, I am a master because you want to be a disciple. As long as you are playing the role of a disciple, I will be in the seat of the master. The moment you are no more a disciple, I will not be a master anymore. Disciple was shocked. He said, how can it be? Master says, yes, only when you want to see a guru, you will see guru in me. For example, it's not that all the people who see me on the road, they all feel my presence or energy. No. Only a person who needs, who wants, he feels connected. So including your experience, everything is part of the great psychodrama being played here. Understand? Master plays the psychodrama of master-disciple relationship to expose you to the reality and to take away all other psychodramas from you. That is why we say Guru-disciple relationship is the ultimate relationship and last relationship. Till you have that relationship, you will have all other relationships. Once you have the Guru-disciple relationship, he swallows all other relationships. He takes away all other relationships. And now nothing else will exist. And then he takes away even the Guru-disciple relationship and shows you there is no Guru, no disciple. There is only one thing, that is, you can call it as a you or me. It is only one. As long as the you and me exist, there is a possibility for relationship. In reality, you and me itself doesn't exist. It is one and the same. You may call that as a you or me. That's not a problem. Any word you may use. But you will realize the one who sees everything as moments in consciousness, you will realize you and me are just two different waves in the same ocean. Two different waves in the same ocean. Maybe a big wave or small wave, but whatever it is, but same ocean. You are also going to settle down into the same ocean. I am also going to settle down into the same ocean. Even if you don't want, you will fall only in that same ocean. The wave, when it rises, when it is in its peak height, and when it falls, in all three times, it is directly connected to ocean. It can't be away from ocean. It can never be separated from ocean. Even if the wave thinks it is become separate from ocean and it has to get liberation, it has to reconnect itself to the source and ocean. Even if you think you are separated from the ocean, you are connected to ocean. Same way, even if you believe you are in bondage, you have not achieved liberation, please be very clear, you are never bound. You are eternally liberated. You are connected to the source. You are connected to the ocean. You are filled with energy. Person who understands everything is moments in consciousness. Whether you or me, you are like a wave in the ocean. You rise in it, you go to the peak height in it, you fall inside it. That's all. There is no other difference. There is no other thing. The one who sees everything as moments in consciousness, he transcends sin and merit, bondage and liberation. The one who transcends sin and merit, bondage and liberation, he understands the futility of sense enjoyment.